Welcome, everyone. My name is Samantha, your host for today's webinar. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad to have you all here today, and I hope you're as excited to learn as I am. Our webinar today is hosted by the Digital Business Student Association, and it's about Wix, the popular web building tool. The webinar will cover the design capabilities of Wix, the cost, a deep dive into the marketing tools you can utilize, a walkthrough of the logo maker, SEO and marketing tools, and so much more. We are pleased to announce that Thomas Durham will be delivering today's webinar. He is a graduate from our very own digital business program here at Humber, and he founded Mango Digital, his very own web design agency. Before I welcome Thomas to the floor, I'd like to make a quick note about the format of this webinar. Thomas will present for about an hour, and during this time, we kindly ask that you post any questions or comments that you have for Thomas in the chat box, which is located on the bottom right of your screen. And with that, I welcome Thomas.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Making Websites with Wix. Like Sam said, I'm Thomas. And before we started with the content here, and I do want to say I'm sorry if there's some slow points in the presentation because this is my first time doing one of these webinars with Blackboard, so I apologize for that. But before we get into this, we're going to do a quick introduction, not to go over too much of what Sam already said, and then we're going to have a quick poll. So I did study a digital business management degree. I've now graduated. I'm studying a post-diploma business insights and analytics. That is at Humber College as well. Been part of the DBSA since 2018. I do sell websites as a service. Like Sam said, I do have a web design agency, and that is called Mango Digital. I pitched that business in the LaunchMe competition hosted by Humber's Center for Entrepreneurship and was awarded $2,000 for that business. Okay, so now we're going to go into a quick poll just to gauge who here is from Humber and who's not. So go ahead and put in quick if you're from Humber. Or if you're not a Humber student. I'll wait 10 more seconds or so here. People respond. Okay, I'm going to stop it now because most people have answered, and thank you for that. So now we're going to jump into the content. The way I've planned this is to be really kind of more of a practical, hands-on experience. So I'm going to go through actually Wix, the platform. I'm not just going to speak about it and show you images. Every section of this, we're going to be going through the actual Wix website builder itself. We're going to start out with designing on Wix, and Sam had mentioned some of these, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but you can kind of see here what we're covering. We're going to do some Wix logo maker stuff. That's really interesting. I love the e-commerce features on Wix. The SEO and marketing tools are also awesome. So we're going to cover that. It's pretty much everything you need to know about Wix in a quick 1-hour webinar. So we're going to start off with design and customization capabilities of Wix. And I should mention now we are going to have 2 challenges that will happen. So this is hosted through Menti. You may have used this in classes before. It's really simple. You're going to see a number on the screen, and you're going to enter that into menti.com. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. So again, apologize for the delays with Blackboard. It is my first time using it. I'm going to try to figure out how I can now show you my other web page. Okay, so I'm already signed into Wix, so I have went to a web page here, which would basically be the home page of Wix. It's not for the sake of this because, like I said, I'm already logged in. So when I go to the home page, it comes me into the dashboard. But I wanted to show you, when you're signing into Wix, all you need to do is go to wix.com and at the top right, sign in. And that's how you get to website builder where you can manage your site. And so it would be right over to the right like this. But like I said, I'm already logged in. So I'm just going to click on this, and it's going to bring us right into the Wix dashboard. Now, why I'm focusing on the customization and design tools of Wix is because they have an advantage there. They make design very intuitive and simple. That's one of their key advantages here. Okay, so this is the dashboard here. You kind of get an overview of what's going on with the site. These are the analytics, and you can customize this as well. It's loading here, but we'll cover more of that later. So I'm going to click Edit Site at the bottom left here. And really, these small details don't matter as much, because when you start working with the program, you'll get familiar of how to access the editing part of the site, or where to access the marketing tools of the site. The main takeaway here is actual what the possibilities are with design. So now we've entered the Wix Editor. This is my site. Everything's click and drop. So if I'd like to move this, I can do it just by clicking and dragging, and it snaps to these points that would make sense for where this text would go, essentially. And you can click undo up here, your save, your preview, your publish. There's a lot of features that you can go through. There's even a dev mode if you know your way around code. Again, the main purpose of this section of the presentation and the webinar is really to understand what you can do with the design in quite a short amount of time. Whereas a WordPress site is going to be a little more clunky in terms of the design, where Wix really takes the extra steps to make it easy. So one thing I do like to show to represent this is if I go into add on this left-hand side and I click, let's say decorative, and I go into vector art. So this is really a robust feature that you would normally not see on other website builders. They have all these vector arts that you can use with your subscription. So if I wanted to add this bat on here, the spooky October theme, I can click on that, and I'll add right here. So the great thing about this too is it will go over different layers of a section. So if anyone's familiar with, let's say, WordPress, doing something like this requires a lot of coding, where you're layering something over two sections of a web page. With this, it's simple as that. And you can get a really nice effect with this that looks really professional. And when someone sees your site and that you know how to do something as advanced as this, which is really quite simple, they're going to be really impressed with that. So I'm going to right click and delete this. It's really simple as that. There's some getting used to the software. I would say that's the biggest obstacle when working with Wix, but it's really quite intuitive and simple. So what I'm going to do now for, let's say, just a few minutes is actually create a new page. So I'm going to click on this drop down here where all my pages are stored, and then manage pages, and then add page. So simple as that, it's already there. Now we can label this, for this sake, I'm just going to put test. And then over in this right corner, you can actually decide if you want to hide this from the menu. Because I don't know if you noticed, it's now pushed over the menu and it says more instead of showing all of the options that I had there initially. So I can hide it and it's gone. Now that's really, really simple to do. This is, compared to other website builders, it's really, really easy to get that done. I mean, you saw it within a click. A lot changed. It is just one menu item, but if you have worked with other website builders, you know what I'm talking about. It can be quite a tedious process just to do something like that. I just want to show you how quickly you can set up a nice looking web page. I'm going to do, again, this really quickly. So I'm going to add a heading. You can click the edit text and then change the color just like this. Click on the color you want and also edit text and change it to centered. Sorry, it's kind of running slow just because I'm recording the screen as well, and I don't know what it's doing here. Yeah, so it's kind of glitching out here, but I'll just keep going and kind of showing you what you can do. It's just because I have my computer recording this as well as editing the site, so it's taking up a lot of memory. So there's the button, it's added on there. I would like to show you more of this, but it's just not working out for me right now. You can add your socials, there they are, and it's just a drag and drop. Again, it normally wouldn't be like this. I wonder if it's showing up for you. Yeah, it's normally not like this. It would, this social bar would be in this blue box, but for some reason it's not working. Of course, when we're recording the webinar, it doesn't want to work for us. But let's go through some of this as well. I mean, you can add a contact option, a contact form, just by clicking. So normally you'd also have some colorways that you'd want to follow, but say you like, I don't know, this form here, it's just simple click, and then it's going to be added into this. And again, it's not really working out that fast for me right now, so I'll probably just move on at this point. But you get the idea. It's really easy to make something that looks nice. I'm just scrolling through the options here so you can see what it's capable of doing. Okay, so we're going to move on. And the next portion of this is going to be the cost of a Wix website. Now, a Wix site to be more expensive than some of the other options that are out there because they are giving you all that free vector art. They're doing pre-built forms, so you don't have to build those yourself. They're offering images, like stock photos, stock videos. They usually have some deals, like right now they have 50% off. And I was able to get this deal, so it was actually quite cheap. I got a 2-year plan for not that much money. Okay, so if you wanted something just basic for yourself, you're looking at about $7, a month, but $5 to $15, let's say, per month, which is not a lot at all. You can kind of see what you get here. It's a little more limited in terms of, I believe you don't get this e-commerce features and some of the analytics features. That's why I really like the business and e-commerce section, because you get really everything that you would need to make a really, really good site. And keep in mind, you can manage your website from an app. So Wix does have an app. You can download it. If a customer comes onto your site and they want to chat with you, you can reply from your phone. It's really that easy. So for this, normally it is $25 a month. This is the plan that I have. And I did pay for this deal. So they usually have a 50% off deal. I guess it depends on really your needs. I like these plans. They range from 20 US to 35 US a month. Normally though, they're giving me this extra credit. So it would be about 300 US for 2 years. So it's It's more expensive than, say, WordPress, where it's going to cost you $5 a month. But again, you're getting so many features with this. They're always updating it. You're never having to do maintenance or do finicky things like that. It's really awesome for that. And I build my sites with Wix for my clients because I can hand it off to them and know they won't have any issues. And a lot of the time, the clients like to hear that the website doesn't need maintenance, because a lot of the competition will do that and sign them up for maybe a $200 per month maintenance plan. With sites I build, I don't have to do that. And that's a benefit that I'm able to provide the customers by using Wix. So it's not something I've created. It's something that Wix provides, so they're really good with that. Okay, so we're going to look at the online booking calendar, the online calendar booking feature. This is really great for a lot of businesses because, actually, hold on. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. So what I was saying is, when for a lot of companies, they need to hop on a phone call with someone. This is usually kind of a B2B service or a consulting type of service. They need to hop on the phone and talk to the client or potential prospect about what they're looking for, what their goals are, what their problems are, if they could solve it. If you're a therapist, even, you can book a therapy session through an online booking form, and Wix can handle all that for us, which is amazing. So let me share my screen again. So I'll show you the front end portion, which is this, and then I'll show you what it looks like in the back end as well. I really love Wix because of how simple it is, and it looks really great too. So this is what I got going on for my company, and I'm going to turn this into preview mode for a second here, so you can see what it looks like if you're a client or a potential customer. Now you can work with us. This is specific to my business, so this is more, someone who's not yet worked with us and we're trying to sign them on. They'll kind of book one of these services, or we'll book that for them. And then this is kind of someone who is a client of ours and needs to pay. So that's the difference between that. But I didn't really have to do any of the design work to set this up. I didn't have to write any Java code. I didn't have to write the CSS for this. No code. I can go in and add specific edits to the design if I want to our company. If you're a company that's starting out, you don't know what your kind of core services are yet, this is something great to throw up in 30 minutes and kind of just run with it and see how it goes. So you just click on Book Now, and it runs them through this whole process with the calendar view, which is, again, it's amazing. So let's hopefully this works out for me here. Yeah, great. And you can look at it from a weekly view or a monthly view. You click on the date. This is all syncing with my Google Calendar. So if I have a class or if I have a meeting already booked, someone can't book that time twice. And you will notice times will change every single day based on my schedule. Let's say I want to book on Friday. I click the 2 p.m. Click next again. And this is one of my favorite features about this. And remember, I didn't code anything about this. I just did an initial setup, defined my services, the time that it is. So this is a discovery call. It's 15 minutes. I synced it up with my Google Calendar. That's about it. So this will autofill, which just makes it super easy for someone to get started. And then you can opt them in to get SMS reminders, which I love this feature because some people will just no-show, and this prevents no-shows. I don't know the exact number. I'm sure there's research out there, but it's really exponential how much this helps. And again, no coding needed, and it takes 30 minutes to set this up. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen one more time, and I'm going to share a different screen with you. This will be the dashboard of Wix again. And I just want to show you what it would look like from the back end of the site. So you can click booking calendar on the left. There's also the booking services where you set which services you're going to be offering. And this shows my schedule synced to Google. So I have, these busy days or these busy periods or meetings, or I have a class, or I have down here, this was a discovery call of a prospect. It's all synced in here. So you don't really have to go to this to see like what's actually going on, because it's going to go to the calendar that you use most often. So it's here as well as on your Google Calendar. And then let me see here. So yeah, sync. You can set your work hours. You can manage this on the go with the app, like I said before. And then if we go into booking settings, it just gives you, even more options. The email reminders and the SMS reminders, what actual content is on there. This is quite a robust system, so it would take a lot for me to go through all of these features. But as you can see, it's really great. And then you can go into each of these and customize what the text is. Let's see, and then booking services. We'll go into that quickly. This is, again, where you set the price, what the service is, what the time is. And this is a feature that I love, and it just reminded me of it because I do this for my strategy sessions. They're all hosted on Zoom. And this, when it's booked, will automatically create a Zoom link, a Zoom session, and send it to them automatically. I don't have to do anything. So they book this, they get a notification, I get notified, there's a room. It's easy as that. And then you can even add, pricing plans, packages. So it's really, again, like I said, it's quite robust. You don't need to charge even for $50 for a session. You could have like a consultation package where they're paying $500 per month to get 4 sessions with you. You can do that on Wix. Check in the chat here.
Yeah, so Rebecca asked if the Zoom is included with the site, or do you link your Zoom account?
Okay, great question. You're going to be linking your Zoom account. It's not included with the site. You're not getting a Zoom plan as well. However, I use the free Zoom account, and I have no problems at all using this service. So let me go back here. Yeah, I forget exactly how you connect it. You can mess around with the settings and you'll find it, I'm sure. There's also this great search feature up here. So if I put in Zoom, Wix events, see, there's all these helpful articles. Wix events, creating an online Zoom event. Wix Editor, changing the Zoom. So you can find it, and free works great. We're now going to have a challenge. So let me get this set up for you. I'm going to stop sharing again. Please go to menti.com. It's menti.com. If you didn't get in, I do believe you can join as we're going. And this is a challenge, so if you answer quicker, you will actually get more points. And at the end of this, you have some bragging rights. Unfortunately, I have nothing to give away at the end of this webinar. Everyone got that. Awesome. Let's see the leaderboards here. Okay, it's close. It's anyone's game right now. This is the last question. I think I made this one a little more difficult. You guys are quick to answer. You guys are done already. Yeah, so these ones are a little easier. I think it's my next challenge that gets tougher. Okay, so I got some of you with the trick question there. It does do email and SMS, both reminders. Maybe I didn't mention it clear enough. But when someone's booking with you, they're going to get an email reminder and a text message reminder if you enable, if you opt them into that, or if they opt in themselves. Let's see who will win it. Katie takes the W. Nice job. Okay, so now we'll move on to the next half of the webinar. We're going to go over the Wix logo maker. This is another one of my absolute favorite tools about Wix. Let me get it up here. About my logo with Wix Logo Maker. Why I love it so much is if you want to get started with your own business, you can do it in a very quick time with Wix. You can have a website up in a day. It's not going to be the best website, for obvious reasons. You're only spending a day on it. But at the beginning, when you're starting new projects, that's kind of what you want to do. It's just get it out to the world, get some feedback so you can adapt and move quickly with your idea. You don't want to spend hours and hours and hours on a site, make it perfect, and then come to realize people and the market don't resonate with what you're offering. So this extends, to the website. The website can be done quick, and the logo can be done quick with Wix, and it's quite cost-effective as well. It can be free, or it can go up to about $50 or so, which is really nothing for a website. So I will share my screen again. So this is wix.com/logo/maker. Just look up Wix Logo Maker. You can start right away. And it is truly an amazing software because it works based off of what designs you like. And after you've built the logo, you have all the files that you need. So I paid the full price so I can get the full commercial usage rights. I have standard logo files. I have social media logo files, resizable, so I have vector files. And what they mean, for example, by social media logo files is for every single social channel, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, they give you your logo in all the various sizes you would need. And you can see here too, you can even buy business cards, which I'll probably do at some point, is get these business cards. I like how they look. And they'll even make a website based on what your logo is. So you can see it now. Yes, okay, great. I think this will work better. I was sharing individual tabs and it wasn't working out there. So let me go back. So this is what happens when you click Start Your Design. I've named the business Humber Webinar Co. And we teach digital business. I'm just putting in some fillers here. I'm saying we're a fashion consulting company, even though we're teaching digital business. Doesn't make sense, but let's just run with it. And how should your logo look and feel? I mentioned a little bit about this, so this is really what I love about it. It's so simple, and it works based off what you like, or more so what your brand represents. So we're a fashion consultant, and we want it to be kind of fresh. We want it dynamic, modern. We want it maybe hipster. I don't know what that really means, but let's go with that. And creative. So now it's going to ask us what logos we like better. Sorry, and if you don't like either of them, you click this bottom button here. So I like this one on the left, and this is really up to you and your personal opinion. I mean, it's pretty objective, subjective, one of those words. So I like this one, and I don't like either of these. I like the one on the right, and again on the right. Now it's asking where do we want to use these, and we'll just say our website, our business cards, our social media, and merchandise. Now it's taking all that data that we entered into it, and it's using machine learning and AI to generate other logos that they think we would like. And there's unlimited variations. You can just keep loading more and loading more and loading more. So I'm just doing this to show you really how robust this is. So let's say we like this logo here, and we can click customize. You probably noticed on the right-hand side of the screen, it was asking us if we wanted to work with a professional designer. So that's another option that you have. You can consult with Wix people about how you would design your logo. So now it's going to show us like what it would look like on all of the things that we wanted to use it for. It looks pretty good just right off the bat, I would say. And then what you can also do is once you're in this, it's kind of black on black, so you can't really see black box that was here, but you can go in and change fine details. So let's say this, we wanted that color, and for some reason it's just not showing the border of this, which is odd, but let's keep going here. And then we want this this color black, and you can keep going and messing with it, and it automatically updates everything so you can see what it would look like on there. So let's say we're happy with that. To get your logo. Now we'll just click get it now. On the left is asking about a website. So this is a cheeky way that you can do this for free. If you're starting out a project, you're starting out a blog, website, you're starting out a product-based website, this is what I would recommend. click download a free sample. Hopefully you can see that it popped up. It's downloaded. Now it's not going to be ideal because it's not the greatest quality. You're not getting a vector file. Now you can use that. It's your logo's there. It's free, and it's a good start. Maybe this $20 version would be good for some people, but I would just recommend this because you also get the resizable logo pack, which is huge because then you can go and add this to many different things. You can add variations of your logo, and as you can see here, that they'll even create some different colorways for you that you haven't thought of. So it just kind of does like a black version, a white version, a grayscale, like a more what would you say, basic type of logo look. So that's the Wix logo maker. Now we're going to go over Wix SEO and marketing tools, and this is another favorite feature of mine. I'm just going to catch this up here on the slides. So why I love this, as you can see, it's the hover box just popped up there. It's really, really easy, but at the same time, really, really robust and advanced. This will allow you to go into all the metadata of a web page. So when you're on Google and you see it says, t-shirts 50% off, buy now, and it's a Google search link, and under that there's maybe shop for men, shop for women, deals on right now, summer collection. That is all done with the metadata, and you have full access to that. In terms of SEO, really, really powerful. And in terms of marketing yourself, it's a good start. I will say that with their marketing features, it's a nice convenience to have, but they still have some work to do in this area. So what the marketing section is kind of this email marketing, automated emails, which again, I would say they need work on because they just added some multiple sequence automated emails. That being said, if someone signs up to your email newsletter, they'll get now one email and then followed by another email that you've pre-planned, another one, but they just added that feature. So some of the stuff is limited, and you're only allowed to have a certain amount per your plan. And they've separated the plans, which I don't really like, but I can kind of see why they're doing it. They're providing a lot of value if you do pay for this extra plan. So now you're paying $400, let's say, for a website for 2 years. So about $200 a year. That's what I pay for my Business Unlimited site. And there's another Send business tools. So it's a separate plan. It costs between, I think, 10 or 15 US per month. So your costs can add up if you're using their features, and you're kind of waiting on Wix to keep updating it. Whereas you can go to MailChimp, and they offer a lot of the same features that this does, but they're way further along in like the email marketing game. And I mean, for social posts, there's better schedulers. I don't think they even schedule posts on Wix. There's better options out there. There's Buffer, there's Hootsuite. So it's simple. It's a nice convenience to have. You can use it to start off, kind of thing. But then you'd want to go to a more advanced kind of system, or a more niche type of system that's built just for social media or just for emails. That's what I found in my experience. I was interested in actually buying this plan, but I did the research and it just didn't have enough of what I needed. So you can see here, what they're offering. Now let's go into SEO tools here. So we went from, I'm going to go back to the main menu. We went into marketing and SEO. And from this marketing dashboard, you have SEO right here. And then you have the individual marketing components here, your branding, your dev tools. So again, it is just a simple drag and drop kind of system, really intuitive, easy to use. But they do allow for a developer to go in here and go full out with it. And even in that sense, if you do know your JavaScript, you do know your CSS, your PHP, your HTML code, it's very intuitive, similar to, there's a coder, I believe it's called Brackets, and it will kind of automatically fill code out for you. So, if you're writing a certain script, let's say, and it's a common script that's written, it will just automatically fill it. And this does the same thing. I hope I didn't lose anyone there. And then I have these sales channels as well, so you can connect it to like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram with the feature they have now. The coupons is a nice feature that you can offer. You can take off a certain percentage off a service. I think that's, goes without kind of saying. So let's go to SEO. And try not to be repetitive here, but there is a lot of features. You can tell just from the sidebar, there's 20 options. So it'd take a long time for me to go through every single thing. It really does help if you hop on it yourself, and that's how you'll get familiar with it. But this webinar gives you a good overview of, why you would use this over another website builder, or what the potential is, what the design aspects are. Okay, so this is called the Wix SEO Wiz, and it's going to walk you through basic stuff. I think I have to reconnect this to my Google. It was connected, now it's not. But this is the great thing about it, is you can go here and see the basic things that you should do to get your site listed on Google. And if you don't have it, then it's really easy to see. You can work with an SEO professional. So this is a scalable option. You do have a lot of scalable options for businesses that are growing. You may start this off as a project you do yourself. And then in the future, when you don't have a lot of time, you could hire someone directly from Wix. And I believe some of these people are actually their own separate companies, not tied to Wix, and they have their whole kind of professional web design experts forum and community. And then they have this SEO guide. So this part just walks you through, again, the basic setup of the SEO. I don't think this guide is something I've used because I'm quite familiar with these topics. However, they do have these options for you. Which I love about Wix is they have a blog post, a how-to blog post about everything you would ever need to know. So I'm just going to leave this because we'll move on from that and just show you one more thing. It might be in this SEO tools section. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, yes, this is great. So URL redirect manager. This is how you can create a really simple 301 redirect or different types of redirects. So say you now have changed a web page to a different URL. At first it was mangodigital.com/blog, and now it's mangodigital/blog2. You can go in here and state that that change has happened. And every time someone puts in mangodigital/blog, it's going to redirect to the new URL. This is great for SEO because it keeps your links active. It keeps the user experience really intuitive and easy, and Google's going to like that. I think this is a great feature just because my previous experience with WordPress, other site builders, doing a lot of manual coding, is something like that takes 30, 45 minutes when now it's 5 minutes. And those savings can be passed on to a client. And you can do some more in-depth stuff with sitemaps. You can view your sitemap and go through that as well. And it tells you, the status of the sitemap. This is getting a little more advanced, so I'm not going to go in depth. I don't want to tell you exactly what all that means, but it's just going to show, again, there's tons of possibilities with this. And it's letting us know, how everything's doing. These patterns, these SEO patterns are optimized. And what does this mean? It's kind of a default for how your links will look on Google. So they've set this dynamic variable in here where it's the page name / site name. So my home page would be home/mangodigital. And I haven't gone in and added this stuff, which I should. You can add your SEO description and your social shares. So this is more of a default one. Like if it doesn't have any information to pull about a web page, then this will be there. And you can have your social shares too. So when an image is shared to a social network, then it will show this specific type of image and text. And I've had clients in the past where they asked me to do this for them on a typical website, and it takes a lot longer. With Wix, it's about 5 minutes. I just go in here and add an image. So if I'm sharing my website on WhatsApp or LinkedIn, it'll show my logo right here, and then my page information. I'm running out of time here, so I have to move on from this. These are just the patterns. It's kind of, again, like the default SEO stuff. You can go into every single page and change this information. So if it is a page like how to write a blog post, you can go in here and say, you will learn exactly, et cetera, how to write a blog. You can start your own blog post from this, and you're write for companies and make money, and whatever. Put something attractive in there that would pull people to click on the link. We're really running out of time here. A quick review of the App Store. This will have to be super quick. Let's see. Let's go to. So apps down here. You go to the app markets. Again, I've kind of run myself out of time here, so I don't have too much to go through here. The main point of this is you can add tons and tons of different apps similar to WordPress plugins that will enhance your site. And Wix does a lot of this for you, so I haven't messed around too much with this. And then Wix has their own apps. So I've actually used Wix Bookings. I downloaded that, Wix Stores. Wix blog, but even like Wix restaurant orders, you can do so much with this platform in a really, really easy way. And even has, MailChimp forms. So if someone enters their email on this form, it's going to sync with your MailChimp account, your email marketing service. So I'm going to move on now from that because we have so little time, and we'll quickly just go over the Wix e-commerce features. Okay, so I don't use these e-commerce features too much just because I don't sell products, I sell services. Let me find it here. Store. Okay, yes, here it is. Okay, so I don't have any orders, but they'll show up here. And then even if someone adds stuff to their cart, leaves, it's going to tell you that. And then it's going to ask you to set up an automation. So when someone does have something in their cart, they leave your shop, you can hit them with an, excuse me, sorry. You can hit them with an email that says, hey, I saw that you were looking at this. Maybe you would like, this item, or maybe you send them a 10% off coupon. Hey, I saw you're checking out our site for the first time. You wanted to buy this product. You never went through with it. Here's 10% off your first order. That can be set up. And there is slight variations between Shopify, and I know some of you may be thinking of this, is what is the difference kind of between Shopify and Wix? Shopify, you can set up an e-commerce store in very little time, like 3 hours. If you have, your brand colors, your brand logo, what the brand name is, very, very short time, you can get up and sell products. Where this is going to take a little bit more time, but you have tons of customizations that you can make, which isn't always a great thing, sorry, because you can kind of go overboard. With this though, I do think it's great because on Shopify you have to pay a lot of money for some nice designed e-commerce store. It kind of just gives you a template, and all Shopify pages are the same until you pay a certain amount, and then you can customize. For this, you're paying $200 a year, and you're already good to customize everything. You can set up email automations, text automations, customize product pages to look different from other product pages. It's not just one template. I know there's some chat going on, so let me get back to that. Are your clients paying for your services through your site? Yes, they are. So in that sense, there is some e-commerce to my site, but it's not a product e-commerce, it's service e-commerce. And this is really the end of my presentation here. I didn't have enough time to go through the e-commerce side of things as I might have liked. However, I think if I go into booking services, clients can pay through this through Wix. They have pretty good rates in terms of credit cards. They're competitive with PayPal. And if you look at our services here, the pricing is $2,970, and they can pay through the site. Although I've mostly been using something called QuickBooks to send my invoices, just because it's a little easier for what I do, and I can kind of enter their information for them and have it like paid already, kind of thing. That's just what I do. Some people like to pay through the site, and that tends to be U.S. customers, because right now I have the site in U.S. dollars, and then I'll use the other app for my Canadian clients. So that is all for today. Thank you all for attending. I do have one more challenge if we want to go through that. So let's just do that to finish this up. Yes, Sam?
We just have a question here, and it asks, so to someone who wants to set up their e-store for selling products, would you recommend Wix or Shopify?
Yeah, so in that case, it really depends on where you are in your business. That being said, I would probably recommend Shopify just because it's a little easier, and for most cases that will work. With Wix, you're just getting, if you have a bigger project and it's proven, you're already doing 20,000 a month in revenues, you've built out a proven product that works. Wix is going to be a great option for you because of the customizations, and what that really means is you can build a more professional looking site, a more branded site. Whereas Shopify, people are going to know it's a Shopify site. They all kind of look the same. But there's plenty of people who have successful Shopify stores. And again, if you're just starting out a project or thinking about starting something out, you're going to want to just do it in a quick amount of time to get the idea out there and see what kind of feedback you have. And Shopify could be really great for that. So yeah, I would say Shopify if you're starting out, you don't really have the proven idea, and then Wix for something that's more proven. It could just be also a personal thing that maybe you like to have a little more design in your store. For example, if you're a fashion company and you're designing clothing, then maybe Wix is probably the better option in that case, because you're going to want the site to represent your fashion, your fashion, how would I say, your fashion designs. You want it to be as creative as your clothing is. So it is really dependent on the situation. But I'm going to start this. There's only 5 of you in here. If you do want to join, the code is 3558965 at the top of the screen. You can still join in as we go. Now how much does it cost? Remember, this is the one cost that I recommended. So there was 2 costs. Think about the one Wix logo package that I recommended. None of these options are correct. Oops, I forgot to do that. Can I change this? It's okay. Number 50 was correct. 50 was correct. So none of you are going to get points here. Unfortunately, that's my bad. So it's a fair playing field for this next round. So this is the round that will win it all. If you did have $50, that was correct. So which of the following statements is true about Wix SEO tools? Yes, number 5 is correct. So SEO tools are robust and easy to use. I can see why someone would think they're limited based on just a quick presentation, because it's not something you're used to if you have coded before. You're not seeing this, all these options laid out for you. It's kind of just a few select options. But once you get familiar with it, you can actually find everything that you would on a typical content management system. So it's definitely robust and easy to use. However, it allows those developer options, which are really great. So let's see who wins. You know, and you can just have some bragging rights. And thank you for everyone who attended. I really appreciate it and stuck around. I hope this was helpful. Syed is the one who wins at 932 points. Congratulations. So that's the end of my portion of the presentation, and I'll hand it off to Sam for some closing remarks.
All right. Thank you, Thomas, for such an insightful presentation. I hope you guys have learned as much as I did. We just have one quick question for you before you go. So you did say your site was service-based, like it's service-based e-commerce. So I was just wondering, how do you get clients? How do you acquire clients?
I see. Okay, that's a great question. How I do that, I'll give you a quick summary of what I do. So there's cold calling involved. I'll look up local businesses, check out their website, see if it's in need of some help, and I'll just call the business. I work with a team of salespeople. They do LinkedIn leads for me. So if you check out my LinkedIn at Thomas Durham, you can kind of see what they're doing. It's a very targeted approach, and we reach out to about 2,500 people through LinkedIn. We make these connections. About 700 or 600 connect with us, and then we send them some messages. And out of those people, we book maybe 10 appointments per month. That's another way that I do it. Also referrals. I'll ask my clients that I've already worked with if they know anyone that needs help, which they usually do know some people. And what else will I do? I do email marketing. I do some SEO, which that's kind of a slower start. I haven't got many clients from that. And am I missing anything? No. So cold emails too. I'm gonna get started with that, but mainly right now it's cold calling local businesses, and then using LinkedIn for lead generation.
Okay, thank you so much. If anyone have any last comments or questions, feel free to post them in a chat while we wrap up. Thank you everyone for attending and for wonderful questions I would ask to Thomas. We hope you have enjoyed and learned from this webinar. Before we close, I would like to thank the Digital Business Student Association for hosting this, Nadi, of course, our lovely program coordinator, for making this happen, and Thomas himself for sharing his time and experience with us today. If you guys would like to know more or even be involved in the DBSA yourself, I am going to put the link where you can find out more about us in the chat box. And we all hope you have a great day and stay safe.